The radiant foundation. The mind, in its most natural state, is described as luminous and radiant, prabhaswara. Imagine it as a perfectly white, clean cloth. This luminosity is not something you earn or build, it is your inherent nature. It is a vast, quiet space of pure potential. However, we rarely see this radiance because we are too focused on the patterns of dirt that cover it. We mistake the stains for the cloth itself. The first step to freedom is realizing that beneath the layers of mental noise, your original clarity has never been destroyed, it has only been obscured. The 6 windows of friction. It is a common mistake to blame the windows themselves: the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thinking. On their own, these 6 doors are perfectly neutral, they are simply the hardware of your existence. The problem isn't that you see, it's how you perceive. The dirt, greed, anger, delusion, only appears when you add the heavy ingredients of greed, anger, or delusion to the encounter. When you rub your attention against the world with these hidden additives, you create the friction that stains your mind. If you see a shape as it is neutral and empty, the cloth remains white. But the moment you grab it with greed or push it with anger, the byproduct is mental dirt. It is not the world outside that is dirty, it is the friction created by the ingredients you bring to the moment. The lesson of the rubbing cloth. The Buddha once illustrated this through a monk named called Shulapanthaka, who struggled to learn meditation. Even a single verse. The great physician gave him a white cloth and told him to rub it while sitting in the sun. As he rubbed, the monk witnessed a profound transformation. The cloth became gray and stained. He realized that the dirt didn't come from the environment, it was created by the very act of rubbing. This is the structural error we all make. We blame external circumstances for our stress, unaware that the dirt, greed, anger, delusion of our anxiety is produced by the internal friction of our own desires. The insatiable ghost, anicca. We continue to rub the cloth because we are chasing a wow that we believe will finally last. This is the trap of mental projections as insatiable, anicca. We have an insatiable urge to find stability in a process that is inherently unstable. We believe that if we rub the world just right, if we get the right job, the right house, or the right partner, the satisfaction will stay. But the nature of all fabricated experiences is that they never unfold exactly the way we want them to. The more we chase, the more dust we kick up, leaving us perpetually unsatisfied. The mental construction, dukkha, the accumulation of dirt, is what we call mental fabrication, dukkha. Most of us spend our entire lives as exhausted builders, constantly rubbing the cloth to create new layers of identity and meaning. This mental labor is heavy and draining. It is the effort of trying to make a temporary stain look like a permanent masterpiece. When you realize that the dirt is just the residue of your own heavy construction work, the process begins to lose its charm. Real peace is not about cleaning the cloth, it is about stopping the friction that makes it dirty in the first place. The trap of controlled, mindful attention. Many modern approaches focus heavily on attention being aware, being present, or staying mindful. While this can reduce distraction temporarily, it does not address the deeper mechanism. If the underlying movements of attraction and resistance remain, attention itself becomes just another layer of activity. You are still holding the cloth, just in a more controlled, rigid way. Clarity does not come from adding another process like focusing. It becomes evident only when the processes that disturb it, the constant rubbing and fabricating, begin to settle. True peace is not a state of high alert attention. It is the natural stillness that remains when the mind stops trying to manage its own noise. The freedom of direct recognition, anitha. When the friction stops, the original radiance emerges on its own. This is the understanding that the builder, in your mind, the one doing the rubbing, has no inherent value or core, anatta. It is just a series of unreliable habits. When the monk recognized this, he dropped the burden of his singular identity and accessed a power beyond the physical, manifesting 1,000 forms of himself. This is the goal of Beyond the Illusion. We write and create not to collect more information, but to facilitate this direct recognition. Once you stop the construction, you finally see the white cloth for what it is: luminous, free, and untouched.